Which audio problem?
Just the one where, like, it slowly builds up.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
When they're silent.
Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Alright, phone is getting turned off.
Oh,
Yeah. I did hit record, so yeah. Just letting you guys know.
Shit.
I know, right? Don't worry, I'll talk you through the
I didn't do my pre-podcast rituals.
your yoga routine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's CrunchCast number 19 coming back at you on the YouTube, the MP3, and the Vimeo.
Oh, Chris, you're
Just
a
kidding.
character.
Just kidding. Yeah, I'm Chris Holden, professional video game maker. Here with me is two other ones, our residential pal, Brian McConnell, and super return artist, Jesse Sosa, who is not, in fact, sitting in for the absent John Jones, but sitting in for the present Jesse Sosa.
Hello.
So what are you eating there, Jesse? It's a good way to start the show. What's going on?
I'm eating a Starburst. I'm trying to get some sugar in my system.
Oh, that's cool. Those are
It
delicious.
is 1 a.m. and I'm recording this for you guys.
You're a special pal.
All you people out there.
That is dedication.
Yeah, we've all been kind of working a lot lately, so we kind of pulled, late nights and whatnot. In fact, somebody sent me the question. He goes, "Hey, have you ever crunched?" And it's kind of a funny question considering what the show is named and all that. But yeah, spent a couple of nights at work last week, I guess. But it wasn't that someone said you got to do this and they're hounding our ass. It's just that you want what you're working on to be good and done and as bug free as possible, because if the game is good, then it's better for your career, bro.
You know it needs to get done. So
yeah, it's stuff that needed to be
you
done.
know when it needs to be done, usually. So
and shit comes down.
It's also a question of the artists around you too, because man, I've worked on games where just no one is into it.
Oh,
and,
sure, yeah.
You watch the clock. As soon as it hits, everyone leaves, no matter how much work needs to be done. Just but it's good. It's good that you guys are working on something that you guys feel passionate about.
It was like that back on Warhammer, man. I was so into that game. So I'm like, look at all this cool art I get to do. There are so many guys who are just like, this game's stupid, sucks. I'm like, well, care a little bit about it so I don't have to fix your shitty collision because you don't test it.
I care a lot about this game. It's probably a majority of that has to do with probably that it's my first game. But
it's your first game.
But it's pretty fun. I actually enjoy playing it. I'm not a big first-person shooter fan, and I actually enjoy our game. So
that's a fun game.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, the first one's always going to be special to you.
Hey, didn't you guys put out a video this week?
Yeah, we had we announced our 1.16 drop. Oh man, I actually don't know what's been said, but it's the
Sure. Well, then I'll say it. There's a video, and it's a silly cartoon dragon comes out of the ground, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You should check out the video. The Wizard 101 something trailer. You just look on the timestamp of the date. If it says the other day, then that's the one.
Is it?
Yeah, that has a lot of my art in it. I think in that video there's
you did those woolly mammoths.
Yeah, and in that video that's pretty much
it's like a more cartoony WoW, Brian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It's the most successful MMO I think outside of WoW.
Yeah,
but it's for
it
like
hasn't had
kids.
tons of money sunk into it, and
it's
the right. What's the way to put it? Like the right business model for an MMO, as opposed to just throwing millions and millions of dollars and then shipping a turd.
Yeah, it's an MMO for little kids, and it's I don't want to say it's educational, but I believe that there is some educational material in there, and so
is there math?
No, I don't know, but the fighting system is pretty cool. It's all card based and stuff, so kids dig that. So it's fun.
That sounds like a game that I would thoroughly enjoy playing.
I'm loving making
it.
I counted the characters that have gone through me, and I think I'm at 70 something in the past 3 months.
Wow.
Damn.
And 27 of them or 28 of them now have been built from scratch, and
that's pretty cool. It's a much smaller team down there too, right? Like how many? 10, 20?
There's a couple
30?
projects in house, but the studio itself, including the whole team, I think we're at 170 or
that's pretty decent size. Yeah. But he said several projects, so.
Yeah, there's 2 right now, and then there's another one, but it's pretty good. I like the way they manage things there, and we had the potential of actually crunching, but it didn't happen. It's just the way they shifted people around.
Well, I've never been there. Don't really know a lot about the studio, but I know a lot of people there, and they seem to all be pretty happy with it. So
Yeah.
usually, always one friend is like, "This place sucks." You know that one guy.
Yeah.
Hadn't heard it yet.
Yeah. It's true with any studio. I mean, you're gonna always have
It's always
cons. There's always going to be cons because it's not your studio; it's someone else's. And
if it is your studio, all these idiots I hired
yeah,
don't do shit.
and at the end, I think that's what. There isn't one magical studio. Even like, what is it? Naughty Dog, I think, is like the top studio to work in outside of even video game, and it's like next to Google in terms of quality of life. But I'm pretty sure they have their own cons as well.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing I could tell.
And you can't please everybody too. No matter,
You can't.
even if everything was great, which it usually is. There's always somebody that's like,
Yeah.
my foot's cold.
Hey Jesse, you mentioned that you did like 70-something characters in 3 months, but 28 of them were from scratch. Like, does that mean that when you make some characters, you like take pieces from other characters, or
Well,
what exactly
basically, I think it's 71 or 72 characters have gone through me, so there's a lot of like retexturing.
Oh yeah.
But out of those 70-some, 20... No, I think it's 71, and 27 or 28 of them were built from scratch. So those were actually, I started with an empty Maxine and just had to build it because the nature of that MMO is that, everything's like different animals and different shapes and whatnot. So it's really difficult to have a base mesh that you can share. So everything's got to be from scratch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just curious about that because, like, when I used to model characters and stuff, I would take like the hands and stuff and just deform them. But that's just a cheap trick to get it done quick.
Yeah.
And it's just a college project, anyways. So.
Now, I mean, a lot of people think. I've worked with people in the past that believe it's cheating or it's cheap to reuse meshes, but when you're in a production environment, you really can't think like that. You have to throw that thought
all
process
day long,
out.
man.
It's a tool that's available to you, and
You made it.
Yeah.
You might as well use it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I have just old backups that I'll copy over just because I'm like, oh, there was a sweet bolt in one of those Max files. I'm sure of it.
yeah. Like right now, I'm rebuilding my female model, my high res female model, and I'm going through and restructuring all the topology. But I'm not going to bother redoing the feet or the hands because I already have that. I mean, I could probably tweak them a little bit, but man, I don't want to redo hands.
Feet and hands, fuck that.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
shit sucks, man.
Nobody ever wants to make those.
Do you ever use that as a pickup line, Jesse? To get girls to like try to model for you or something?
Your hands are beautiful. I just want to model your hands.
I need some good reference for this next character. I can make you famous.
Hell yeah. That'd be awesome. I could make you famous.
Yeah, exactly.
Famous. You need anal close-up shots. So the second part of that question was, do they pay more for your work overtime? And I'm just going to say nope. A lot of times it's salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nah. I've actually worked at a company way back, and for briefly because somebody abused it. We were hourly, and so when you were working late on stuff and really kicking ass, you did get paid more. But we have one guy that would just come into work and sit there like on chat rooms.
Yeah.
Or in Second Life, or whatever crap it was he was doing constantly, because he just had nothing going on, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, he was just writing in all these hours saying he was working, and so they changed it because of that. I'm like, man, you just ruined a good thing for me, bro.
Right now, when I left Terminal and went to King's Isle, I opted to go contractor route because I wanted to experience a 40-hour work week, and it's pretty nice, man. I work through lunch. I'll take my 15-minute break and go get lunch and come back. But it's really nice to, when 6 o'clock hits, you go home. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Nice. That's what it was like over there in Germany.
Yeah, they the process for approving overtime at King's Isle can be a little involved. So whenever you are going to do overtime, you are going to do it. Everyone's agreed to it. So generally, they try real hard to not give you any kind of overtime. So it's pretty great. I like it. It's kind of freeing.
I could say I've never got overtime. the best bonuses I ever got were for when you refer somebody for a job.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's pretty much been that. I mean, you just rarely see. I don't know. There's certain companies where it works out really good. You can get bonuses, but if you're at a place and you ship the game and it was, that was that. All right, everybody out.
Yeah.
There's not really much of a chance of a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be sweet to get some fat check for no reason. And by no reason, I mean a lot of damn good reasons.
Yeah, I think I have a very similar experience in that I think just referring people, this is really the only time I've ever really gotten any kind of kickback.
Yeah, dude, that can be sweet.
But just game budgets nowadays, just how much a game costs before the developer will even see any kind of royalty, unless you're making Grand Theft Auto or something that's obviously going to sell
Oh, yeah.
1 billion copies, then I don't really know many people.
Oh, an official Halo port.
Yeah. Or you have such a small team size and you make Angry Birds or something, on a mobile platform.
Yeah.
Like, oh, guess what, guys? Just shipped Minecraft and Amnesia.
Yeah.
Our
Just
team
me
of
by
6
myself.
guys.
Yeah. I'm going to go buy a Cessna now.
Cessna. Nice.
Which one's a Cessna again?
I don't know.
Is that the plane?
It's a plane.
It
I
is
think it's
a
a single
plane.
prop.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a single prop.
I think it's a single
Shit,
prop.
I'm gonna buy Britney
I should have
Spears'
known
old
that
jet.
too. I should have known that. My dad's a pilot. Oh well.
My dad's a pilot, you jerk. Because my chair is so broke. The other day I leaned to pick up a piece of popcorn. And I leaned too far and it just went like that. So now I'm just kind of hovering on one side. It's pretty bad news.
Yeah,
5 seconds.
that's a first world problem.
Yeah, I know, right? It's busted
chair
ass
kinda-
chair.
Chairs
Doesn't
kinda-
work anymore. I'm gonna have to go get a new one. Shit.
Oh,
I'm
well.
so depressed.
I'm so depressed. My life sucks.
First world problems are the best.
Yeah, that's kind of a joke going.
Yeah.
It refers to things that are only a problem because you have something nice,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
probably it goes wrong. These problems don't really matter. It's like, oh, my Wi-Fi went out, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my life sucks. My Wi-Fi's out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only downloading at 300k a second. Oh well.
And I need to jerk off now.
In a comfortably warm house while it's a blizzard outside. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually really. How is it there in Texas, Jesse? It's kind of chilly here.
Yeah, it's pretty all right. I mean,
Texas, man.
it's been a couple weeks where it's been really nice, like in the 70s or the 60s in the morning. Like right now, it's 54 outside and it's nice and windy. I do like fall in Texas a lot.
I don't know if I'm ready for winter or not.
Yeah, we got a pretty decent dump of snow last night.
Yep.
It's not bad.
Winter's coming.
Mhm.
Winter's coming.
The
For those of you-
winter man is coming.
Well, mine was a Game of Thrones reference.
Oh, okay. Hey, what was that? Didn't you say you got a question? No, this wasn't directly related to the show, was it?
No, it's. I mean, we can go over it if you want.
It's kind of a
Didn't you-
silly one.
You already went through your question, right?
Well, that was the one. Though I want to say, I'm going to look up the name of the guy really quick. But there was a guy that submitted a question. It was really long and thorough about teaching a college course. And it was something that we felt like
Oh yeah,
it
You
needed
do a whole
more
show on it.
time and like the right people to discuss it.
Didn't we discuss that John should be?
Yeah, we thought John should be here. John Jones. He's actually, one of our pals, one of our good guests, John Jones, the smartest. Your portfolio repels jobs. And he's out in L.A. on a contract job for a month. And who knows, he might end up all over the world here soon. But yeah, he said he did an interview today where the guy brought up the show
Oh, nice.
in a very positive manner. I don't want to divulge anything, but he
You
said
guys
that it really helped a lot that this show and the guy saw it.
Nice.
You guys are going global
Mhm.
soon.
Global domination over the portable handheld units.
I still want to know how many of those MP3 hits were family members or friends.
Family and friends.
Yeah, because
Probably.
I only know like one person that listens to it.
Probably like not any at all, man.
I don't know anyone.
I think my brother listens to it sometimes.
Your brother's pretty cool.
He just downloads it for the count and then deletes it.
Yeah, no, he like sends me messages about things we talk about. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, we talked about that.
It's actually pretty good. I mean, I found myself just kind of there, and people will just come up to me and ask me when I'm doing the next one or whatever.
What, like at work and stuff?
Yeah,
that's fun.
Also on the internet, I'll get a message here or there.
Yeah, I get them like that now too. It's pretty neat.
What about Polycount? People probably know you guys on Polycount now, right? I mean, do they know your name?
Jesse's like a moderator, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I just mod general, but I mean, I've been on Polycount forever.
Yeah, and I've been there forever.
Do they know that, like, I don't know how Polycount works, so you guys have a username. I know his is Skanker0, but, like...
Yeah, it's just...
Chris is Holden.
C. Holden.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
And there's like a thread.
Yeah.
There's a thread in GD. Zach D might bump it for us.
He's our little our promoter.
Yeah. He's our sweetheart. He helps us out.
On the other side, you got Kat. She does a hell of a job promoting it too, posting links and stuff to it.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah, it's always neat when you see people talk about it or promote it in whatever way they can, because that's really the only way anybody's going to check it out. Like the guy that helped me out with the XML file, anything that people can do to help out, it's always great. A huge amount of the hits I get come from Facebook, like our Facebook, just posting it on there.
Yeah.
But
I like the funny feedback I get from my followers on Twitter. Like Shades of Silver, he's pretty funny, and Brian Goodsell, he told me a pretty good joke the other night. So I got a thank you from a guy named Donovan today. That was pretty nice. It's just pretty cool getting your name out there and shit.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, speaking of things that are pretty cool, the comedian Ari Shafir, who we've seen out here in Denver, I follow him on Twitter, and he's it looks like it's killing my video for just a second. It'll be back for you, or I'll try it again here in a second. If we lose you.
Yeah, internet, your audio is going really crazy.
Yours sounds good for me, but it sounds bad. I don't know what does that, man. This fucking internet. Anyway, I follow them on Twitter because I like following comedians on Twitter because they're hilarious. They just post jokes and it's funny. It's a great thing to tab over and be like, look at that, it's a joke, it's funny. And they'll be right on the money of like something that happened just in the news. They're like, boom, joke. Yeah. Like just as it happens. So it's really funny to be. They can just announce them and everybody's like, wow, this guy's on top of shit. But no, he's just one of the comedians I follow on Twitter, and he always asks every now and again. He's like, hey, Photoshop nerds, could somebody just put this person and me in a picture together? Because he has his own podcast that he does where he wants to make sure he has a nice picture for his website. And as somebody that's done a lot of Photoshop, it's really easy to put two heads together, man.
Yeah. Yep, it's not difficult.
So,
and you do a pretty good job at
it. So I've made a few of them for him, and just this recent one, he totally retweeted and actually got some followers from that. So that's cool.
Nice.
But it's a hilarious picture. I just found some picture of this girl, some other girl, and put his face. Like I photoshopped his face, like over the other girl's head, so it was like under the hair and everything was perfect. It was stupid. I spent like 2 minutes on it, but it's funny. Anyway.
Yeah, anyways, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a fun tool.
I've been sketching some ideas for revamping the logo a little bit, making it a little bit more...
Zazzy? I need more zazz.
Yeah,
we were just talking about how earlier I said we need to have more zazz.
Yeah.
More zazz.
More zazz. Yeah, I haven't... Well, what do you mean, the logo for the actual CrunchCast or the Crunch Studios site? Or both? Or
whichever. Doesn't really matter.
Because the one on the Crunch Studios logo right now is just a font. You know what I mean? I was like, I got to put this site up now and not worry about it until I actually have time to think about something cool. And the show was the same way. I just took a picture of my hand holding this microphone right here, and I vectorized it. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's just a shitty font of that Photoshop thing that bends it, the arc or whatever. Yeah. It's such a poor logo, but here's the idea, man. If you're gonna make a logo and you know it's temporary, just don't give a shit at all, because at least then, if I had tried, if I'd like put all this bevel and stuff on it and glows, people could really start ripping me for this shitty art.
Yeah.
But by not trying at all, it's like clear. Oh, this is just temporary. We understand.
Yeah.
Though. If I posted on Polycount, they'd say, this is not temporary, and even if it is, fuck you.
because we're assholes like that.
That's pretty funny.
There's good people. Some are a little up there.
We're just honest.
I do believe, yeah, that is true.
It helps.
I do believe that logos are important because I like wanted to go into
I'd
graphic
love to
design.
make a nice one.
Yeah, I'd love to go into, or I wanted to go into graphic design a long time ago. But yeah, I do believe that logos are pretty cool. Like, for example, I watched the trailer to Grand Theft Auto 5 today, and the trailer was pretty nice. But at the end, they had this pretty cool.
You mean The Sims? Dude, I was watching it and I was like, this is The Sims, right? That looks pretty cool.
I mean, I didn't play any of the most recent ones like San Andreas or any of those. I think
3.
I stopped after Vice City. 3 and Vice City.
I like 3, and yeah, but then I was just like, this game's too bloated.
Yeah, Vice City. I played Vice City a lot, but after that, I just never could get into them. Saints Row is, I think, where my heart lies.
It seems to be that's the way it's going, man. That latest Saints Row trailer, I was watching it over and over, like, holy crap, this looks so much fun. But the new GTA trailer, I was like, this looks The Sims. This is boring. Man, it had some cool looking stuff, and it's like super realistic. But
that's what I was going to say. Is that my favorite
those
part
animations and stuff.
My favorite part of the trailer was at the end when they showed the Grand Theft Auto logo, and then it had a V, and then you could see the banner in front of the V come around. Like, they actually animated this nice logo.
Yeah.
And it said
all the
5
art is top quality, man.
That, like, yeah.
Like, all those scenes they showed in the background every time was just, man, it looks so nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why I thought of The Sims, because The Sims goes kind of like real cleany, not clean, but like realistically clean, as opposed to something just being grungy. Like Gears of War. It's like, man, that is grungy as fuck. So when you see a game that's realistic, it's...
A lot of people, I think even on Polycount and stuff, everyone was complimenting the lighting, which the lighting does look really nice, but in the end, I'm like, who cares? I don't care. It's not going to make the game any more fun to me.
Yeah, cool graphics are awesome, but let me remind you, the Game Boy makes a lot of money. So graphics aren't really...
Yeah, I mean, my all-time favorite game, I think, is still Super Mario World.
Oh, the SNES one? Dude,
yeah, that thing is perfection.
We definitely talked about this on, I think, the first podcast, but I was saying it's still to date the highest level in platforming gaming, like the best platforming that's ever been done. And that can simply be proven by, look at those custom levels where people are playing songs that Mario is automatically able to go through. And some of these speed runs, the way people figured out how to throw an item and then catch it again and throw it again to fling them up in the air and keep flying. And like some of the platforming things you can do in that game are just incredible, and they're all skill.
Yeah.
Like, it's all skill-based stuff that if you learn how to do those tricks, you can just obliterate levels like nobody's business.
Okay, so... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say how much I appreciate pixel art. Like, I have this...
Love it.
This weird love for pixel art, the saturation of everything. And
I love
the
it.
beauty of it. And I can't think of too many pixel art games that have come out lately, except for, like...
Do you love
Sonic
it?
4 came out, didn't it?
Oh.
Well, I mean, when you look at games like...
well, there's always, like, the 2D games. All the Castlevanias. The new Castlevania came out kind of recently, I guess.
What is it? Well, the Castlevania's on the DS did come out just recently.
Yeah, but what's the one... There's the DLC one on the... Is it Xbox or PSN? The one that it's like the multiplayer one.
Oh, right. That was on the Xbox. I'm thinking the fighting games. Right now, for whatever reason, I can't think of the names of these fighting games, but... shit.
What was that wacky side-scrolling game? It was like super Japanese side. It's like side-scrolling RPG though. I don't know. They had crazy pixel art. It's always terrible to be like, hey, remember that game that I don't? And everybody's like, no, because it's the first I've heard of it.
I want to play this the Scott Pilgrim game. I want to see what that's all about.
That's so much fun.
Is it pixel art or is it like vector graphics?
That one's pixel art. It's done in 16-bit style.
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at that cat.
Yeah.
It's hell up in your face.
Retro City Rampage is coming out too very soon, which is definitely a game that I
is that like a River City Ransom?
No, it's Grand Theft Auto pretty much, but with so many in jokes. Like one of the things is you're some like criminal, obviously, like Grand Theft Auto 3, and then suddenly this DeLorean comes out, leaving these fire trails, and this crazy doctor comes out, and he's like, "Take my DeLorean and save the world," or whatever. And so you end up using it for evil or whatever. But that's a game that I'm going to recommend to a lot of people. If you have not seen the trailer to Retro City Rampage, go find it. because that game is just amazing. One guy is working on this thing.
Oh wow,
He's gonna make so much money.
hell yeah.
That's cool. It's just one guy doing it. Always like that.
He has a real big presence at PAX and stuff, and I know that the Destructoid guys love him.
Fanboys.
Okay, here's a question for you guys. Maybe you guys have addressed this in one of your earlier podcasts, but what is your favorite game of all time?
Okay. Yeah, I think we talked about this a bit. Maybe even on more than one podcast.
Mine's kind of a strange one.
Yeah, but now we got like 1,000 people, right?
Holy shit! Maybe there's a good chance that a dozen people will see this, and 24 will hear it. So those people don't know that I'm holding up the number 2, but there's 12 people will know that I'm victory, peace, pet your cat. So go ahead and do yours, Brian, because you said yours is weird. That means you got it all in hand.
Mine is kind of a strange one. I kind of grew up with Sega Genesis and Nintendo Super Nintendo as a young child, but for some reason I really enjoyed the N64 when it came out. So my favorite game is Bomberman 64.
You're so weird.
Oh, fucking Bomberman's amazing.
I loved Bomberman 64. I don't know what it was about that game.
Everybody loves Bomberman. It's a dope game.
Yeah, but just it was awesome. So I know that's kind of a strange one, but it was pretty cool because you could build like these little bomb bridges where you'd have to like put the bombs in just the right spots and like big ones and small ones and stack them up just right so that you could bounce across these bombs to get to these secret areas. And I still want to go back and try to collect all the gold cards so I can get the awesome costumes and stuff that you can get for multiplayer. Because multiplayer, that's
where it's at.
That was my favorite game for multiplayer battle. Like I never really was into.
Dude, for me it was Super Smash Bros.
I was just gonna say
we used to play that retarded.
Yeah, I can see how people would like
played
that.
But so much every day after work for hours.
I just never really got into Super Smash Bros.
Oh,
But Bomberman multiplayer was amazing. I loved it. I know that's strange, but
sure, man.
What about yours, Chris?
I think I'm just. It's a tough call with a lot of these because there's that thing of all time and there's the recents and whatnot. I don't know, man. All time is either going to have to be original NES Legend of Zelda or Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. It's just because the original is just. It's so pure at what it is.
Yeah.
But Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo.
That's in my top 5.
It has so much more.
I'm with you, Jesse.
And it's really like. It's the thing. It's like it's the formula for all these newer ones. I mean, like if you played any of these Zeldas, I mean that's like got it all in there. The multiple worlds, all that shit. It's now the Majora's Mask is like not Majora's Mask, but the next one up, or
Skyward Sword.
that, not Skyward Sword, but the one before that, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
That one's pretty much the 3D palette. Like this, the standard. Like all of them after that one are just kind of like copies of that game.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's kind of become kind of like almost a parody of itself in a way.
Yeah, I haven't really liked a lot of the newer ones. I like to go back and replay the old ones. I think it was a few months ago when I was working on I was trying to tighten up my Link to the Past speed run, and I could get 100% right around 3 hours. Like get every item in the game right around 3 hours in.
Nice.
But I never recorded that. I should 100%. That's like too long.
Yeah.
To record all that for me, but I might record a Legend of Zelda speedrun.
That'd be interesting.
It takes me like I think the last time I tested it was somewhere around 90 minutes, but I would need to get it under. I need to get it under an hour just to be comparable.
Yeah.
I usually just like the 100%. I like to start off by getting all the items and being stupid powerful, and then going in the first dungeon like an asshole.
Yeah. Just
what's up, boss? Whack. It's just more fun that way.
Oh yeah.
Now,
how about you, Jesse?
Well, like I said, I think all time would probably be Mario World, and that's because I still play it to this day. I have my modded Xbox, and I got all my ROMs on there, and
I have the same thing.
I still go back to that.
It's the bomb.
I still use the cartridges.
Oh, I got those too.
I have my cartridges, but my cartridges are like mint in box, so I don't take those out.
Yeah, don't do that then. But maybe you'll know this, Jesse. Cartridge save Is that ran by like some sort of small battery within the cartridge or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just Google that kind of question, but
I know. I mean,
But yeah, they can go bad, and there's YouTube videos on how to replace them and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. I was just curious because apparently, like, if you don't plug in your cartridge for like 10 years or something, there's a chance that you'll lose your save data just because
My save game from 10 years ago.
But just plugging it back in charges that battery again or something. That's what I've heard from.
I had level 99 Pikachu.
Yeah, well, I mean, even I don't know if it's 10 years, but I know there's Nintendo games that at the time just would lose their charging. I had a Final Fantasy cart that just would not save. That's probably when it comes to just straight up RPGs, and I think especially Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 1's possibly my favorite, tied with 6, but just because, like Chris said, it was so pure. It was what it was, and it's like, hey, this is your D&D, you know, hey, here it goes. And before it became really just crazy, you know.
it's like the original Dragon Warrior on NES.
Yeah.
It's like the original kind of classic top-down grind Japanese-style RPG, right?
Yeah, Ultima.
And it's pretty much like, okay, here's your town. The farther you walk from the town, the tougher the monsters get, but you're probably going to get killed. So you just grind on these little guys, and the game was so slow-paced.
Yeah,
however, if you replay it now for one of these emulators that allow you to skip frames and go faster, it's almost bearable.
A slime appears, you know, and it's like, oh, what do you do? Yeah.
And it does this before it even says a slime appears. Like, it sits there for a second with the graphic, you know what I mean? Playing the music, then it's all, a slime appears. What do you want to do?
The image with the interlace, it would go,
there.
it would draw in the image. I remember that.
It takes so long. Yeah.
Now,
I like that game, though. It's one of my favorites.
Now, here's another question. Going along the whole, I don't want to say Bomberman was obscure. Bomberman was so much fun.
It's mainstream, bro.
What's a good favorite game of yours that is obscure that you can recommend to people?
Obscure.
Yeah.
Is Blast Corps for N64 obscure? I love the hell out of that.
A lot of the N64 games were kind of obscure because they were just so friggin' expensive.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm definitely going to think about that because I'm sure I've got a few ideas. But
definitely going to think about it.
That sounded
Ignore
like
your
such
question.
Political answer.
Well, the reason why is
thank
because
you, Jesse. I
really
really appreciate your question. I really appreciate the fact that this is a country where people can ask tough questions like what you're asking now. Thank you for coming out. What I'd like to really explain to all of y'all folks is that I need to take more time and devote to this question before I can really give you a proper answer that's going to give you the answer that you want to hear. I'm sorry.
Well, see, because I do like kind of strange things, so I mean, I can probably think of some games. But.
Well, for instance, one of mine was Battle Tanks for the N64. Battle Tanks 1, made by I think it was made here actually in Austin. I believe it was. Shit, who did make that?
Did you ever play Daikatana for the Game Boy Color?
No. But I would totally recommend Battle Tanks N64 because that was just so much fun. We would stay up playing this game just all night during college. Let's see, it was by 3DO. Okay, so that wasn't here. But yeah, it was by 3DO on the N64 called Battle Tanks. And the whole idea was that I guess some nuclear bomb or whatever went off in New York City, and so basically it plummets the United States in some post-apocalyptic hell where everyone just drives tanks and they form tank gangs.
Cool.
And women have become a rare commodity. So they're
I think I remember this game now that you're describing.
Each gang has their queen, and other gangs try and steal the other queen. You know, there's this whole story.
That
but
is cool.
The real gem was the multiplayer, where it was essentially capture the flag, but it was with women. So each team had their woman, and you would bust in using your different style tanks. You would bust in, and then you'd take their woman, and you'd run, and you'd collect the women. And once you can collect all 4 women, you would win. Nice. And that's just like a total macho, beer drinking game.
Did you ever play the sequel to Smash TV, Total Carnage, on
yes.
Super Nintendo? That's a little bit obscure, kind of, maybe. I'm not sure if it was like a big game or not, but I'd put that up there.
You fight Robot Hitler at the end.
Yeah, but the reason what you're talking about reminded me of Blast Corps again, because you're talking about, okay, a nuclear explosion went off in Blast Corps. It's a truck with a nuke on the back that's gone wild, and they can't stop it. So you're a demolition company that's hired to destroy every building in the way.
So that
the
truck
nuclear
can keep moving.
Yeah, so that the truck with a nuclear explosion
speed,
it
basically
won't hit anything. The truck is going like 2 miles an hour. It's just like, dude, somebody get in there and hit the brakes. It's a ridiculous premise that you have to destroy like entire cities, like skyscrapers and stuff, with a giant flying robot.
I bought that game, by the way. Did I tell you?
Oh yeah, I think you talked about it. Have you played it yet?
I haven't had a chance to play
Yeah,
it. No. But I did buy it. For
It'd be a good party game.
I played it for the first
It's a really
time.
good party game.
About 2 months. No, I'd say about 4 months ago. It was pretty wild. Yeah, it's by Rare, right? Rare made
Yeah,
that.
I think so.
The one I'm thinking of isn't very obscure because it's very, very popular still. But for some reason, a lot of people didn't like it. It seems like, but Majora's Mask, I really enjoyed Majora's Mask.
Some people say it's the best Zelda. Those people are wrong. But
Yeah.
it's
I
got a lot of
wouldn't say
awesome
it's-
things.
I
All those
definitely
awesome
wouldn't say
masks.
the
So
best.
it's an awesome thing.
Yeah, but the story, like, I don't want to give away the ending, but the story.
Spoiler alert: Link dies.
It's like 20 years ago. Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. Hey, I don't want to spoil fucking the Citizen Kane for anybody, but it was.
Don't say it. I haven't seen it.
I mean, I haven't played Majora's Mask, but I don't think I'd be upset if you spoiled the ending for me.
Okay, well,
just
you
watch
can put a
the
disclaimer.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but at the end, the story does all come together, and it's kind of like a cute little
Oh,
story, and it's just like I'm kind of childish.
it's
as
adorable
it is.
because he gets a bunny at the end.
But I mean, it's just a nice little side quest, basically.
Cool.
Like, start playing Ocarina of Time, stop in the middle, go play Majora's Mask all the way through, beat it 100%, and then go back to Ocarina of Time, and you just played 2 games at once.
Kind of. Yes, that's exactly right.
So,
Hey, I'm just gonna give a quick little shout out to some guys. I don't know if you guys know of any or following any mods or anything like that, but just this week, these guys posted this mod on the Epic forum they're working on. Well, it's a game. If you're using UDK, I guess you're making a game. I still
Yeah.
use old terminology. If you're making it, it's a mod until I can play it and it's a game. When I'm playing it and I see 100% custom art, then you're a game. But if it looks like Halo, it's a mod. Anyway, it's called Dawn of the Spell, and they even have a website, dawnofthespell.com, and it's kind of a shitty site. I'll say it, no big deal, because they're just have this little prototype up, and the prototype uses like the UDK robot and stuff, but it looks like a really interesting RPG style or fantasy style team deathmatch game. And it reminds me a lot of like PvP in MMOs, or there's a few games kind of like this. Warhammer was kind of like it, but it just looked interesting to me, even though they have no art. I don't know why. I'm the only person that replied to their thread because people are idiots over there. They only reply to awesome looking art and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This and all these guys have is the UDK assets for the most part, so they didn't really watch the video or even try to playing the game. I'm sure because I downloaded it and played it, and it was pretty impressive. Even the level layout was really good.
nice.
So they should deserve more props, and yeah, check them out. And
Sweet.
hopefully they'll end up making something cool with that. You never know. When it's this early, you never know, but when you see somebody already have promising gameplay and all they really need is art and then just refinement, then that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah, that's kind of rare.
I like it when people go this direction. It's kind of what I'm saying more positively. Like, the way they're doing it, we're like, here's our gameplay, and they didn't really spend any time. Like, there's so many times you'll see a mod start up where they're just dumping out all this art. They're like, oh, here's our graphics, here's a ZBrush monster, here's some high poly scene, here's some drawing of a girl with titties.
Yeah.
And this big dump of this crap, and then gone forever. Like, was it ever playable? No. Did you even ever touch a game engine? No. Did you install UDK at all? No. Anyway, that's my little rant.
Nice.
Check out Dawn of the Spell. It's fun. Hopefully. And if any of you Dawn of the Spell guys are listening, get to work. I want more. I want more. And maybe I'll make a castle for you if you're lucky.
That's pretty cool.
Um,
How many guys are working on that?
Oh, it is a very small team. I don't. You
Yeah.
can check the site.
Yeah, I'll get into that.
I want to mention a thing too. The Pixel Hive, they make Rapid for 3D Max, which is a retopo tool, and I've been using that on my female models. I'm redoing my high poly female model, and I love it, man. That thing's so amazing. It's thepixelhive.com, and it's basically just like a plugin or script for Max that just kind of sits there, and you define which is your high poly and which is your low poly, and it allows you to build on the surface. But the thing I really like about it, because a lot of people say, well, isn't that what graphite tools do? Well, the thing I really like about it is that it's not intrusive like graphite tools. If you want to use graphite tools, you use graphite tools. Well, this thing just kind of sits there, and you can model however you want. I mean, you can use graphite tools as well, or you can just do old school pixel pushing like I do, and it's constantly snapping everything to the surface and stuff. So it's very inintrusive. So if any of you out there want to check out some of the YouTube videos, just go to YouTube and type Rapid, all a single word, WRAPIT, and then see the demos that they have up. It's really awesome. It's only $56 too, so that's really nice.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I want to get back into modeling really bad, actually. Like,
Hey, you use text tools, don't you? I'm sorry, I was thinking about tools.
Chug nuts?
I think so. Wait, render HSHJ. How do you say that guy's name on Polycount? He's got like the ninja
Yeah.
avatar.
Yeah.
From
I think
Ninja Gaiden or something.
when it comes to textures and stuff, I use chug nuts, or the modified chug nuts. Stopped working on it a long time ago, but I
that's
use
really popular. I forgot about that.
that, and I use a couple other custom scripts that I need to really look at.
UV straightener.
No, I use for that I use Hedis UV. Although UV straightener is really nice if you just want to do it straight in Max. Hedis UV is an amazing tool. It's a little weird. It's all hotkey driven, but oh man, that thing! I just love that thing. I love it so much. And we used it at Terminal, and I use it now.
I can't stand programs or plugins that are just all hotkey driven. I don't know what it is. I have to know.
You have to have it written down next to it.
Well, yeah. As long if I know the long cut, and I go
The
through
thick
that
cut?
long cut, yeah, the thick cut, a number
The
of times,
uncut.
I eventually learn the hotkey, and then that's how.
Oh,
I
there you
remember
are. Hello. No, yeah, it was a little weird, but C is for cut, W is for weld, but it's amazing. It's an amazing unwrap tool. I could do full characters in 10 minutes or
Oh wow,
so, and that's all.
pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah,
Dang.
it's if you get good with it and fast. Hugo Bayer taught me how to use it, so I give him some props there. He's a great guy, and he thank him for introducing me to that tool. I love UV mapping. I really do. It's so much fun for me. But man, that tool is just so much fun. It's just define your cuts, hit enter, and it splits up, and you can relax it, and you're done.
Nice. That's pretty much what I do when I'm doing any environment art. I just throw a box map on it and go home. throw a tiling texture on there, and I got nothing else to do. Like I throw a decal on it. No big deal.
Oh man, I remember when I first started learning unwrapping, and it was like planar map everything. And you had like a million maps. Each map was like for a specific polygon. It was so crazy.
It's a difficult concept to get a hang of at first, but once you get it, it makes perfect sense. And
Yeah.
I haven't
Like
done a
you
lot of
skin
unwrapping
something.
in a long time, so I don't really know much. But
It's
Well,
like a form of Tetris.
when I got to Terminal, I think I was this was 2002. I think I was one of the first artists there that would put a full character on a single texture sheet, because they all came from like flight simulators and stuff like that. So everything was planar mapped. And I remember people coming into my office saying, "All that's on one texture sheet?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I would show them like how to unwrap and stuff. It was like, wow,
Nice.
that's
Did you do? I forget if you were around for modding Quake 2 at all.
no, I came in right at the end of that.
Okay, because I was going to ask you. Remembered Inferno's skin tool? Because if you were around back then, it was pretty cool. Because there really wasn't much for UV mapping. Like the tools for that
Right.
were really obscure. But his was actually a tool specifically written for Quake 2 models and unwrapping them, and it had all. It was just for the today it would be completely archaic, but back then it was like, wow, this is awesome, and it was really good for making sure you had like no wasted space and stuff like that.
Oh, I loved the Quake 2 mapping because it was just like your character from the front and from the back, pretty much.
Pretty
Just
much.
textured. You have what was it? 128s was it?
For
the high res stuff?
The character was a little bigger. The character was actually a weird size. It was like 2036 by, I don't know, like 162. It was some ridiculously not the power of 2 size.
That's interesting.
So when you ran any kind of hardware accelerator graphics card, it was just blurry as fuck. So what you could actually do is rescale it yourself in whatever tool you had to 256 by 256, and it would be wicked sharper. It'd be
Nice.
ridiculously sharper because things have to be the power of 2, or a video card just does it itself. So if you can, it was just one of those. We're the first people making 3D. We don't know how to do it. Situations.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's interesting.
That's what I'm working on now. Our characters are all on like 256s and stuff. It's so refreshing.
Wow.
You wanna highlight? Here's like 2 or 3 pixels done.
Oh, like just that's nice.
What are
The
our characters?
Quake 2 player character skin was 252 by 195.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
What the WTF? I hope I'm looking at the wrong thing. The Quake 1 skin 320 by 200. That might be right.
320 by 200.
When you were saying your characters were 256, Jesse,
It might have been 284. Anyway, go ahead.
what game was that? Is that the MMO
No,
that
that's
you're working on? Or?
yeah. That currently we're working on right now. We
Okay.
work at 512 and we shrink down to 256.
Oh, okay.
That-
Okay. I see. I was just
It's
curious.
it's nice, coming from an environment where it was 2048 and 10
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I think the Quake 1 player skin was 296 by 194. You remember it's just like a front and a back of the dude with the gun and the axe right there?
Yeah,
That's what you worked with.
that's
Those were
awesome.
good times.
I kind of, thinking about this, it would be so easy, but I kind of want to make a character that's just a flat character, like literally.
Dude, you should
It'd be so easy to rig, so easy to unwrap, and so
you
easy
should
to
check out
texture.
that low poly thread on Polycount. Just look at some really low end stuff people do, because a lot of it is pretty easy in that sense, but it's
Yeah.
very difficult to do it and make it look really nice.
Yeah.
Like there's
I'm
some
sure it
people.
is. I'm sure.
There's some people on there like tennis. That dude just throws down.
I was thinking like literally like a sheet of paper. So it's
Yeah, it's,
There was one for Quake 3 like that. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was essentially a rendered sprite on a flat plane, if I'm not mistaken. You could run around.
Oh,
Man, I played a lot of Quake 3.
I could do a rock paper scissors game, and you could choose your. I don't know. That'd be so ridiculous. Base a whole game off of just the one character that you want to do that's flat. But anyways,
I remember cheating a lot in Half-Life 2 because I forget who it was made the Powerpuff Girls. Oh, it's not Half-Life 2, Half-Life 1 multiplayer. They made the Powerpuff Girls, but they were like running around on the floor, so they were only like half a foot tall. But as a player, you could still see your reticle. You still looked and saw the world like a 6-foot character. So
Yeah.
you just run up to a window and no one could ever see you. You'd just be sticking out.
oh
shooting
yeah,
people.
as long as they downloaded your character, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, playing over LAN, all my friends had
Yeah.
all the characters.
Well, that was a big thing. Even back in Quake 1 with all the custom skins, people wanted dark skins.
Yeah.
Like they wanted skins that were super dark, and there was one particular color. It had a 256 color palette, and it was the very bottom corner was like a solid black. Like it was a solid black that wouldn't even be affected by light mapping or anything, which you had to watch out for when you were painting textures. But you could use it artistically in some very interesting ways. But people would use that, just solid that as their texture. And Kevin Johnstone, the guy that's just pimping all this Gears of War stuff, back in his old skin days, what he would do, and all of us skin artists were big on this. We would, if we found any of those while playing Quake World, we'd replace them with glowing skins, because
nice.
the palette also had several lines of full bright. They were unaffected by light. They would just glow, just solid, no lighting at all. So if we ever found any of those that were downloaded, we'd make sure we get the right name of it, and just change it to one of those full bright colors, and release packs called like the glow packs to get rid of those fucking cheaters. And
Yeah.
once you had the skin downloaded, it would, if you replaced it, it would never update it. So, you could also cheat and just change everybody's skins to glowing. I remember in Quake 2 tournaments, one of the guys going in, and the first thing he did was he sat down, hopped in Explorer, and deleted the player model's folder, because it turned the player model into a floating geometry box that only represented the hit detection collision.
Oh wow!
Nice.
So it was literally cheating because it was a bigger glowing box than the character. But they had to stop that after that because it won like hardcore.
Nice.
That's brilliant, though.
Man, I wish I was old like you so I could have gotten into game industry a little bit earlier.
Oh, shucks. You're doing better than me. You're in the movies.
I never want to grow up.
I never want to grow up. I don't want to grow up either. That's why I got into games.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to touch myself forever.
It's a good line.
I love that. That's awesome.
It doesn't really take us anywhere.
Yeah.
That's a good segue, right, for something?
Yeah.
I think I figured out my favorite movie. A little off topic, but thinking of how I said I never want to grow up. My favorite movie, I think, of all time, and it's kind of a nostalgia thing, is Hook, with Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams. I freaking love that movie.
Dude, Dustin Hoffman is a good actor.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. And he also played in Finding Neverland with Johnny Depp, and that was about Peter Pan too. I wonder if he's oh yeah, I'm gonna start saying bangerang again. I need to get that in my vocabulary.
Bangerang.
Bangerang.
Is that like
so
is that
awesome.
like when you hit a girl so hard, when you're tapping that shit and you hit it so hard
Bangering.
that she flies away, comes back around?
Yeah, you fucking. She immediately calls you the next day to fuck again.
It's a banger.
Gave her the old banger
Yeah,
dude.
that's
I
a
twisted
banger.
them guts up, dude. I banged a Fibonacci sequence into that.
I think they mentioned that in Hook. No. Fibonacci sequence. Nice.
I'm sure you get this a lot, Chris, but people tell you look like Stifler.
Stifler?
You ever get that from the American Pie movies?
Never.
Huh.
Really?
I don't really
I've never
see
heard
it.
that before.
I don't know. I don't really see it. Stifler's
Apparently,
What's his name? Austin. What's his name? Austin something. Austin.
apparently that Lee Americoon sent me or however you say it, sent me a tweet that I looked like. Oh shit! Who was it? That dude.
Doesn't he play with Johnny Knoxville in that Dukes of Hazzard movie? That guy that plays
Look
Stifler.
here. Sean William Scott. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Here,
that's a totally different person.
You can put that up so you can like compare. I sent you a link.
Well, yeah, that's a totally different person than Stifler.
No, that's Stifler.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can figure out how to
from
get this.
American Pie.
MDB.
He's the older guy, right?
MDB. That's me saying.
Oh
that.
no, the younger dude, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I was
guy.
thinking of the old Jewish dad character. That's why I got confused.
Oh
That
no,
picture
him,
does look
Stifler.
like him.
Yeah, I was getting confused with those two. Yeah, people tell me I look like him all the time. But no, he said. Lee said that I look like Josh Hartnett. Look at this picture from 30 Days a Night. Do I look like that? I don't know. I don't think I look like.
I could kind of see it.
I mean, yeah, if I do my like eye thing and then
It's
my
weird.
beard comes in.
I used to really like Josh Hartnett, and I watched Lucky
but
Number
I don't know,
7.
man. It's weird.
I watched Lucky Number 7 the other day, which is a great fucking movie.
Lucky number
I just loved
11.
it.
Oh yeah, that was kind of fun.
Lucy Liu.
It's a weird
I never
movie,
really
right?
I never really liked Lucy Liu until
It's like
that
all
movie.
over the place.
Yeah, it is all over the place, but it's worth watching.
I watched it once and I enjoyed it. I barely remember much of it though, so there you go. Hey, you were kind of talking about this earlier, Jesse. But then me and Brian were talking about it on the way here. What is stealing in terms of art?
Oh right.
Like, check this out. Okay, if you just take a canvas outside and there's just the nature, there's just trees, a river, and a field, and you start painting that, because it's what you see. Well, you're not stealing nature, obviously you're referencing nature. And if it's a picture somebody took, if it's photography, you're still just technically looking at a picture of something. Now, someone start to say you're borderlining into stealing. But if it was a painting someone did, and you recreated the painting of the same nature scene, is this at this point becoming stealing?
No.
Or does none of this really become stealing until you're like selling on the same market as the original artist that also painted it?
I think it's not just on the same market or on the same.
Well, I mean,
level,
like, okay, if there's a
but
painting,
if you're selling it,
if there's a painting that somebody did and you repainted it yourself, and you're selling that, then that's pretty much counterfeit art, right?
It's your interpretation
I'm not
of
touching
the
that
artist's
with a
work.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it's your
it becomes-
interpretation. But if it's the exact same,
It becomes thievery when you make a facsimile of it, but even the greatest copycat is not going to be able to create an exact duplicate. That comes down to
absolutely, yeah.
using digital technology. So if I got the Mona Lisa and I scanned her in and sold it, on printed canvases, then yeah, of course that's stealing because I didn't put any effort into it.
if
But
you repainted
even-
it, but it at such a high quality that people would recognize it as the original, then you could be considered an artist just as a technical achievement of recreation.
Yeah, and I don't consider that thievery. I don't consider that because it's all interpretations.
Right.
I mean, that's that we go through that as a civilization. Mankind does that all the time.
All day, mother. Now, if somebody's taking somebody's concept art that they posted on some site, and they put that in Photoshop, and then put a new layer in, and they draw right over it
Yeah,
to get the same shapes and whatever, and then like put in like an extra rune or diamond in the sword or whatever. That's I think that's when it becomes stealing, right?
I would agree with that. But
there definitely is a line there that where you can say, well, I painted over this artist's artwork to show how I can improve upon it or something. That's fine. But if you're
open with
honestly,
it, if you're open with it, but if you just don't say anything, try to
if
sneak
you
it
don't
in
tell
there,
anyone, then yeah, that's done.
that's
for the wrong
that's a
intentions.
bigger part of thievery than anything. If you come right out and say, "Hey, I saw this and I liked it and I wanted to do something like this, so I used it as a base and then kind of did this other thing with it." Then if you're kind of being open with it, I think that's really the main idea. Like if people were like, "Oh, here's my Gears of War inspired dumpster," or you know what I mean, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's somebody following the style. Obviously, they're going to look at the work that people's done and released and copy some of the same ideas, but that's purely a loose interpretation. Some other examples I was thinking, if you had like a guy, like you're doing figure drawing, you're drawing some guy. Well, that's just figure drawing. You're not stealing a person's identity. That's obviously the most raw form of art, but you're still looking at something. And then, but if it's somebody's drawing they did, and you're drawing that exact drawing, well, you could consider it stealing. But at this point, it's so much at the frame of learning, like not just tracing, but tracing by eye.
Yeah.
At this point, when you're just learning, because you don't have any clue how to do that in the first place, that type of drawing, so you're just redrawing something someone else drew. For the most part, I would suggest just keep those to yourself.
well, yeah, that's.
But
what I was
that's
gonna
totally
say
cool to
earlier,
do. I mean,
is that's practicing.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I did
Forever.
that.
Like when I first tried to learn to draw, like I was drawing characters in comics in junior high. I would just basically just draw over existing comics, just so I could kind of give my hands
Yeah.
the idea of how am I supposed to, what are these lines supposed to feel like when you draw them. Apparently, Hunter S. Thompson he just retyped The Great Gatsby on the typewriter just so he could feel what it's like to write a great novel. So I don't think there's anything wrong with recreating a piece someone's done as closely as possible.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Really?
Did you have a like a plan that you're going somewhere?
And it was just a general flow that I was going to end up somewhere, but I'm interested in what you think because you're usually way off the topic of what I'm thinking, so I'd like to hear it.
Well, we were talking about this in an earlier, like this a really early CrunchCast. episode, but I can't remember what exactly we were talking about. But it came down to I didn't want to mention this on the actual podcast, and I told you afterwards.
Oh, the thing, right? The game.
Your Beepo game.
The Beepo.
With Beepo in it.
Yeah. Overblood.
Overblood, yeah.
The reason I made that was, for one, I saw that Game Informer has a super replay they do, and they played this game, and it was so ridiculous, but everything about it was like, that is so simple. I think it just felt like in my mind, I'm like, I could do that really easy. But I also thought, just because you think it's easy to recreate an entire game doesn't mean it is. So I knew that there were so many things that they were doing that I've never really tackled as somebody with UDK with like the Kismet and Matinee knowledge. So I thought, well, that'll be a great exercise because it looks easy, but I know it's hard. I know it's gonna be tough. So I made that little recreation of just like the first act of the game, but it's all in like this boxes, like block out art, and no time was spent at all in the art. It was all spent just getting the gameplay and
the
dialogue stuff. Yeah, that was the hardest part, was getting that dialogue because it was so weird.
Yeah, it's strange. It's a strange.
Skanker, you're making lots of noise.
Am I?
Okay, now you're fine. Remember, it's that weird Skype thing.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't know if the mic picks it up. It might. It looks like it does.
Yeah, I think it does because I heard it on the last podcast a little bit.
But anyway, no, that was just something for fun, and I never that was just like what I was talking about, where you can draw over people's drawings all day long as it's just for you.
Yeah.
Like, that was something that I never intended on releasing. I never did release it as like, hey, here's this game, play it. And I never got anywhere beyond all the levels being just gray boxed out.
Yeah.
So, and again, it was a good experiment. I learned a ton from that, especially about Matinee and the pacing of dialogue and how, like, the pacing in that game's dialogue and stuff. Things were really weird, but then when you really do it, it's like you can feel it. Like the way when I didn't have it kind of like their pacing, it really felt wrong.
Yeah.
You can really feel why things are a certain way, and it helps. It just helps you learn.
Yeah. At that time, you were using it, like you said, a learning tool.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Isn't there? Sorry, go on, Jesse. I didn't mean to.
Just like on DeviantArt, I have a folder in my favorites that is called My Designs by Others, and it's just people that I find on DeviantArt that have drawn my drawings.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Or done characters that I've designed in their own way, and some of them are straight like
line for
it's
line.
them drawing my concept art for Blood Rain 2, and I find flattery in that, so I save it, and I'll sometimes post, oh hey, great job, because but I've only ever had one artist that I've actually had his art taken down because he literally took my drawing, like didn't even remove my signature and just put, look at this drawing that I did, and I was like, no, you didn't do that. Reported it and had to take it down.
Yeah, that happens
I always
a lot.
wonder what goes through people's mind when they do stuff like that.
Not much.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's more ignorance than anything.
Well, shit, there's I can't remember his name anymore, but one guy got a job at Raven. What was it, back in 2003, 2004, as a concept artist, and he ended up lifting a lot of people's artwork to get that job. But the funny thing is, he was actually a pretty decent concept artist. It's just, I don't know if he just didn't have time to do his portfolio or what, but he ended up doing that, and that was rather shitty.
He just ended up stealing like a whole bunch of people's art for his portfolio to get the job, or
yeah.
Oh dang. Yeah, it's
weird.
pretty bad. Anyways, on this subject, isn't there like a patent when it comes to patents? Isn't there a law that it has to be changed like 60% or something? Like that?
It was less than that, I think. And I'd have to look it up, but I remember in high school doing research on it, and I thought it was only like 35.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. Well, no, I take that back. That was for something else. That was because I was having to do. It was money. Like my brother was doing this thing for where we worked, and he wanted me to do print out like something like hit their own dollar bills or something. And I remember doing research on that, and it was 35% that I had to change it before it was not considered, or after the fact. It was not a
An attempt
an attempt at
counterfeit or something.
counterfeiting. Yeah. So I don't know if that's the same percentage that applies to art.
I'm not sure. I think I heard I heard 60 or 65%, but I don't know who I heard that from. So, and I was gonna ask, how do you even judge percentage?
Who comes
of
up with
change?
that percentage? Who's the man?
Yeah, exactly.
That's weird.
It doesn't seem like that's a measurable.
Yeah. Well, it's all subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
Jinx, you owe me a coat.
Fuck. I can't talk the rest of the podcast.
You're out. Wait, what? How do I set you free? Do I punch you in the arm or something?
Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, look at that nice shirt Brian's wearing. I gave him that.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens.
I feel like I should. I don't know.
You just don't like wearing that AF shirt.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't like designer clothes. I don't like
cool.
supporting designer clothes. I had a date tonight, so I wanted to wear something that
Woo, how'd that
girls
go?
like.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It went well. She took me back to her place, but as soon as we got back to her place, her roommate walked in, and then she got real standoffish because
I thought you were gonna say
Nice.
you went double tapped.
double tap.
The what was it? The taparang or what was it?
Bangerang.
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 He hated a gang bangerang. And by gangbang, I don't mean a bunch of dudes. I mean him on a bunch of chicks. Bam! That's every night from McConnell, folks.
Gang
No, it's
bang.
I had all these shirts and all these shirts were literally gifts that were given to me to wear out to nice places.
And they're really nice, expensive shirts.
And they're nice
too.
shirts, yeah. So I'd never wear them. I'd put them away, but I feel this up. But I've been hitting the weights, got real big, and they were just too big for me. No, I got a little fat. I could probably wear them now because I've been riding these bikes for all month. But yeah, they're perfect to give away because you're all lean and you fit well into them. I didn't fit so well into them. Some of these shirts I've pretty much never worn, or maybe once. Especially that red one. That red one is tighter than F.
The red one with the gas.
It's an awesome shirt. It's solid red. It has this black silhouette of a dude in a gas mask for the whole chest.
That piece was done by Shepard Fairey.
Wow.
Who is?
I thought you were gonna say Lisa Frank.
Lisa Frank. But if you don't know who Shepard Fairey is, he's a big tag artist or whatever.
Yeah, it totally
graffiti
looks like
artist.
graffiti style art.
Yeah, and he apparently did. I don't know if he did the exact Obama poster with the red and blue.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
that guy. Yeah.
I don't know if he did that exact one or if he did a style that was like that, and they asked him to do one for Obama or what. But he had something to do with that.
Yeah,
the change is the change poster. I think is what it is.
Is the hope? It brings up that one with his. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with this guy. I just never knew his name.
Shepard Fairey.
You're the first
That's
person
kind
to
of
know
a
his
strange.
name.
That's kind of strange, like Shepard Fairey. I don't know. Either way.
Don't trust anyone with two last names. I don't even know if those are last names.
Or two first names, like a Thomas Frank or something.
Yeah,
Lisa Frank.
Lisa Frank.
Lisa
Google it.
Frank.
Get some shirts with that on it. Boom. There's this one. It was like
Dude, I want a Lisa Frank shirt. How
it was
cool
like
would that be?
it was like two polar bears surfing or something. I don't.
Too
But they're
tight.
cubs. They're always cubs, like tiger cub.
Yeah.
It's like a tiger cub and a butterfly in some ridiculous psychedelic world. Like a rainbow and there's a dolphin freaking out in the background.
Lisa Frank stuff is really just wow, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
Dude, I'm really surprised that I'm actually remembering all the names that I'm remembering. I think it has to do with
It's
the
Alpha
Alpha
Brain?
Brain I popped. I
I
popped an
don't know
Alpha
if you
Brain.
saw that.
Oh, look at you! You
Yeah.
got. Have you been trying it?
Nope, I just got it today, but I'm probably gonna be using it this weekend on that.
Pop one on.
Dude, just take
Chick
like
that
3
I'm
or
working
4
on.
before
Twist
the-
one off.
Take like 7 or 8.
The bottle. I think it's fine.
Did you
Yeah.
did you get the 2-pack or just the 1?
This is just the one. It's the 30 count.
30
So
count.
I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens.
Shake it, shake it.
Dude,
mean-
it's working for me right now. I'm tripping balls.
No, it's
It's not a drug. It's just vitamins.
it's just vital. It just makes me feel a little more focused and stuff and interesting dreams sometimes.
Yeah.
It took me
It's
a while
like-
to get into the dreams. Like for me, I don't know if I told this already, but shit. Like I was getting into lucid dreaming already.
Mhm.
Like kind of. I would go real deep just as for art. I would say, "Oh, I want to. What is this scene going to be like?" I'd try to think about it as I'm going to sleep, and a lot of times I could dream about that. And it would help a lot. But when I first started taking them, man, all my dreams were just solid blackouts. and I had this weird feeling that I was just going so deep that going deep, but that I was just not remembering them. I was just going too deep. But with time, I'm starting to get more control of it. And they've all been about castles. Almost every dream has been about castles. And I don't know how to freaking explain what the hell these dreams are about.
Well,
They're either about like trying to get in or out of the castle, like get in and like get something and get out. Like I don't know. It's not like a medieval or anything specific. It's just I just remember the castles there, and so yeah.
I'm envious.
So should I take one now?
Yeah, are you gonna go to bed soon?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m. I hope I go to bed soon. I really do. I've been up to like 3 these past like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take one, and then I will report back on the next one.
Well, you probably take like one every day or 2 every day. Like,
Yeah, I like to take one at the start of the day to get me going.
I'm probably going to use mine sparingly and just do them like before dates and podcasts and.
Yeah.
Apparently they
cocaine.
work. Yeah, apparently they work really good for.
Yeah, I'll do
Jet
cocaine
lag.
when I'm not on Alpha Brain. Well, the thing is, I already experienced pretty lucid dreams. They're not super lucid, but they are, to a point where
Yeah.
I know it's a dream. So I can only imagine what this.
It
has
seems
the
like a lot of
potential.
artists or people with like a high imagination level. Like you're always thinking about stuff anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
deeply that
Oh.
you can use. A lot of artists I've known have been able to really kind of use their dreams as tools.
I'm
Yeah.
too fucking gullible to lucid dream. I think that's what it is. Every time I'm in a dream, I actually believe that person is really riding a dolphin or whatever. it
Oh, no,
is.
that's cool.
I'm
A lot of
I'm
times, just
way
go
too
with it, man.
gullible.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
It's like one of the things about dreaming is you can try to do that, or you could just dream like you're going to the movies. Just be like, when you go to the movies, you can either be like, this is stupid, you wouldn't do that, man. Or you just be like, whatever, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm just like I got big into scary movies when I was younger, and so I watched so many scary movies that I stopped being scared of them. But then when I got a little older, I was like, just let go, just let it scare you.
Yeah.
And then when I go to movies, I enjoy them so much more. I'm just like let them do their little emotional thing on you. Let them hypnotize you for 90 minutes, or nowadays it's like 3 or 4 hours. Assholes.
Yeah.
But yeah, just let it happen. Just kick back and have a good time. Just
I really enjoy
yourself.
that advice. That's some good advice. Just kick back and let it happen.
Yeah, just let it do its thing.
'Cause,
That's
like,
what
it's
it's there
always-
for.
it's always
you
fun.
paid all that money to sit there in that theater.
Yeah, and it's always
Enjoy
fun.
it.
It's always fun to sit around a TV with all your friends drinking beers and making fun of a shitty film.
Yeah.
But
How many times I've told that to a girl? Just let it happen. Just sit back and let it happen.
Sit back and let it happen. She's like, look,
Hey,
She's looking at you like you got Louis C.K.'s dick.
I'm so straight. I'm so straightforward with women now. It's
Yeah,
like,
you have to be.
yeah. I'm really surprised that more of them aren't turned off by that. But really, I think it's a big turn on.
Dude, that was
all
like
women.
that was the
straightforward.
best thing that works for me in bars is once you've like got close in the club or whatever and everything's cool, you just go, hey, you want to get out of here and fool around or something. Yeah, you word it however the situation deals it, but being forward with some of that stuff, once, like I said, once they've
You have to get to
once
that
their
certain
hand
point.
has been down your pants, you can say that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Once you've got that green light.
Yeah. But like just today, I was messaging this girl for the first time, and we haven't talked at all. But before this, and I mentioned that I had a sexual fetish. It's not a real sexual
Oh,
fetish.
dear.
It's just a joke. But I was thinking recently about how there's all these freaking weird sexual fetishes out there that we find
Yeah.
very strange, but they get so turned on by these weird by these things that we consider extremely
internet.
strange. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was trying to think, if I had a sexual fetish, what would it be? And I know it's kind of a joke, but to be honest, like, my sexual fetish is a girl that can make me laugh, because most girls, like, obviously not during sex, but but most girls are extremely boring to talk to. Like, I was at a bar the other night, and I literally almost said to this girl, we have been talking for 5 minutes, but it has felt like an hour because you are that boring. I almost said that to this girl. I'm too nice of a guy to actually say that, so I didn't. I held back, but I wanted to because a majority of the guys that I talk to, I can have a conversation with. The majority of the girls that I talk to, it's just like, where are you?
Well, that's why I stopped talking to what I consider quote unquote normal
I just thought it was
girls.
funny. So I was gonna point out because you can see this now. What this is my Halloween hat that I had. But it's on a foam roller with a towel to stretch it out.
You should bring that foam roller into work so you can destroy it.
But then I wouldn't have my foam roller at home.
I know.
Yeah, the only reason I wanted to talk about that was because you could see it, and I thought it was a very weird thing to see in the background. The hat came very flat, and I had to do that to stretch it. Yeah, puff it back up.
Bangarang, dude.
Bangarang, bro. Had to bangarang. That's the hashtag for this episode, bangarang.
Give it the old bangerang.
It's like the
Might
episode-
as well just be the name.
You ever watch Workaholics? Jesse Sosa?
Nope.
It's a show on Comedy Central, but they always have in the corner a hashtag for Twitter for whatever silly thing they're talking about in the show.
Oh, that's what it's for. It's Twitter. I didn't even know it was for Twitter. I thought it was just like...
It's a hashtag. What else is it for?
I don't know. I've never used hashtags.
Hey,
on
you
Twitter.
like my scarf? Does it make me look classy?
I only have
Yeah.
110 tweets. But...
Last night I had a dream that. Okay, have you guys seen Black Dynamite?
The cartoon, and you went on Adult Swim? That one?
Sure, but the movie.
No, not... Yeah, that's a different show then. Yeah. No, I have not seen that.
They were going to adapt it to a cartoon. I just wasn't sure it was out yet. But yeah, Black Dynamite. It's basically It's a spoof on blaxploitation films
Yeah,
of
from
the early
70s. And stuff, yeah.
Well, last night I had a dream that I was basically Black Dynamite dressed as Batman, and I would just walk around and just beat the shit out of villains.
You were Black Batman? How fucking
Yeah.
cool is that?
Yeah, dude.
And that was I was afraid of heights, so I would just walk everywhere as Batman. My queen bee was Poison Ivy, and I ended up sleeping with all the Gotham girls at once.
Nice.
Very
dude.
much in the Black Dynamite fashion.
Lucky.
All the Gotham girls, bro.
My dreams
Yeah.
have been...
Internet high five.
Yeah, that was an interesting dream. I have very interesting and lucid dreams all the time.
Here's the idea: is if you can dream and you're dreaming about flying or fucking, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
But the next level in dreaming is when you can really get into your dream and remember what you're doing in the dream and practice a skill
Yeah.
during the dream.
Oh.
Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, people can learn to play guitar and
Yeah.
sculpt out of wood chainsaws and stuff.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, Toby, our programmer, has mentioned to me a few times that he's actually solved, like, bugs in his dreams.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because when you're working as much as they do...
Well, when they
dream
doing that
work.
focus, when you're a programmer, yes, what you're looking at. As an artist, I do the same thing where if I'm having trouble with some art I'm working on, I'll try to dream about it. Like I'll force myself to try to dream about that, just so I can see it or play it like I'd actually be playing it. Because if that seems to give, like I can flesh out a scene more. Like, what do I need to have in here? And just dream about it. Oh, more vines.
Yeah, because your mind has no limitations at that point in time. A lot of what restricts us on a daily basis is the fact that your mind is perceiving the real world and all the physical limitations that it has. But
The
when you
boring
dream
stuff.
yeah,
Lame.
when you dream, that gets thrown out the window, which opens your mind to other solutions.
Yeah.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier. I know a lot of the stories that I write and a lot of the game ideas that I get are usually stem from dreams. I write down a lot of stuff usually when it's really good. And
It's a dope time to write down. Did you start your dream journal yet, bro?
No, I'm going to do that tonight. The reason why I haven't started my dream journal yet is because all of my dreams
So
recently...
funny to say.
a dream journal.
Yeah, a dream journal. Hey girls, he's got a dream journal.
Mr. Sensitive.
He'll talk about his feelings.
Well, they say it's a trick to help with lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
If you keep a dream journal.
Yes.
And I really want to get to lucid dreaming. Like I said, I'm too gullible. I just believe everything I see. So yeah, I was thinking about keeping a dream journal, But recently, all of my dreams have been about real world problems. So really, it's just like boring stuff that's going on in my life. Like I got pulled over by a meter maid the other day.
Son of a bitch.
In my dream, of course. Not you don't
yeah.
really get pulled over.
Yeah.
You don't really get pulled over.
If
by
a meter maid
maids.
pulls you over, you just push them down.
Yeah, exactly. But in my dream, I got pulled over by a meter maid, and then I looked up at the moon, and there was this like giant. I don't know.
That's cool.
Like, yeah.
Well, what's the best part
Dreams are
is
so irrelevant.
the best part is you can tell a good story about it.
Oh hell
Not
yeah!
really.
I know, that's hey, 'cause
Yeah,
all that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I didn't ever have sex in my dream until I was 25, probably. That was the first. Something would happen.
Oh, you lost your dream virginity at 25.
Yeah,
Late bloomer.
it's like
I remember a
you know,
high school one that like fucked me up because I sat next to the girl.
Oh.
And she was like really unattractive and like way bigger than me, like a huge black girl.
Whoa.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, she was somebody that would be the last on my mind. You know what I mean? Then I had a dream about it, but the next day I was like, like I had a weird, different feeling. But then I had to remember that was just a dumb dream, stupid. But in my brain, it was so real. Probably because it was graphically scary, I guess.
But I'm not trying to one up you or anything.
One up
Jesse,
me, bro. Oh, him.
because you lost your dream virginity at 25. But this story is kind of it's not really. I'm not embarrassed by anything, but
Why don't you tell it instead of beating around the bush?
Sorry. I guess I lost my dream virginity pre-puberty, and
damn.
yeah, I know. I don't because I didn't even know what sex was at that time. So
Something was
I didn't even
going
know
on
what.
there.
Yeah, exactly. Like it makes me wonder if I have mental issues or I'm an artist or something.
You got something.
But
Yes.
instead of like doing that, I wet the bed because I was like I don't know like 10 or 12 or something. But it was very strange because I didn't even know what I was doing. Obviously,
Yeah.
so
You're a wild one.
One of my sexual dreams that I had before I actually had sex in a dream. This one girl that I had a huge crush on in high school. I remember in my dream I reconnected with her and she took me back to her place and I found out that she was a lesbian and she was totally gonna have sex with me and her hot girlfriend. And in my dream I was like, this is amazing. So I was like, but first let me go wash my hands. And I went and I started washing my hands and I started admiring the soaps that she had. They were like little seashells and shit. And in the background, I could hear her and her friend like calling out to me. And it would do like this picture-in-picture view. So I'm like washing my hands and I could see what they're doing over here. But I'm just like, oh man, this is going to be so awesome. I just got to really scrub this, And I spent the entire dream just washing my hands and they were done by the time, And that's generally the way my dreams would go. It's like something would, it was about to happen, and bam,
You're
cock
like,
block.
all right.
dream.
I better get ready for this instead of doing it.
Dream blue
Yeah.
balls, basically. That's
Weird.
It's like, oh man, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. Let me just
I
watch
had-
these elbows.
This is I don't know if this would be appropriate to tell, but I had an Inception. I had an Inception
A dream in a
type
dream.
wet dream. It was the
Nice.
strangest thing, dude.
Deep.
But I won't go into too much detail because it's very graphic. But
We
basically,
might need to do a whole podcast.
basically, in the dream within the dream, I was having sex with a girl, and then I woke up from that
Scandalous.
dream into another dream where my hand was sticky, and then I woke up in real life, and there was no cleanup necessary.
You
it
were
was
fine.
very
So you dreamed about having a wet dream.
yeah, exactly.
See, that's how you wrap
But
it up
I
into like less than 1,000 uhs.
Yeah, I know. I need to get better at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this guy that stumbles his way through, no, that's that. Remember that Joe Rogan joke where he said that about Red Band? He goes, if you like this guy that stumbles through his sentences over here, follow. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just,
You're having
too
a good-
ener-
you're
too
having a
energetic,
good
and
time.
I'm having a good time. I'm with my friends.
you can't help but pal around. Look at those veins. Look at that vascularity. It's been hitting the gym. There's this crazy documentary I watched today called The Revelation Pyramids.
Mhm.
I don't really know how to explain what was going on there because it starts off pretty straightforward. They're like, oh, the pyramids and these stones and how they do all this, and it was weird. And then all of a sudden they just get fucking deep as shit. And they show this entire line of things built all over the planet that were a different equator that show where the North Pole used to be before a massive destruction, and they show how the stars align perfectly to what it really is. The pyramids of Giza and all these other pyramids are these collection of warnings from the past, and the reason all those old temples are still around and everything else crumbled is they were purposely built to warn us about the future, about how the poles actually shift and massive cataclysmic things happen on this particular cycle, and that's the reason they aren't there.
Well, that's the Mayans believe that, right?
Well, yeah, they're part of that. They're a part of that
something.
piece. They're a part of that line.
Okay.
The line goes from the Giza through all that stuff, like Machu Picchu and all that shit.
Great reset or something.
Yeah, it goes like all the way around the world, and it lines up with all these different places, and it's a perfect equator. And they were showing how this perfect thing is the Fibonacci sequence and all these other shit. And they showed how this guy showed how the pyramids of Giza. Not all, they're explaining like everything in the world. They show the Fibonacci, all these like other different shapes, or everything is life is based on. And finally, the Pyramid of Giza actually shows the speed of light in the way the building is built. It's just a ridiculous. Like apparently, it has. What these guys are saying is it has all this line of ancient structures that have lasted thousands and thousands of years. Show all the knowledge of the universe, that it's just a matter of us understanding and then deciphering it. Like apparently there's some languages that are written on these things that they say aren't languages of any real culture. They're just like a made up thing that you're meant to decipher.
And this is Pyramids of Revelation?
The Revelation Pyramids.
Revelation Pyramids. This is on Netflix or what?
I actually saw it on YouTube today.
How long
Okay, I'll
of
have to watch
a
that.
video is that?
It's 141 minutes
Okay.
and 51 seconds of
Yeah.
intensity. No, but it's one of those things that it's the thing. Like I threw it out like all crazy, like. But these guys present it. They're like, okay, hold on, let's show you this, and they show you this one thing. Like, see how this does this? Okay, that could be coincidence, but all right, what about this? And they show like they keep lining up, like. Dozens of ridiculous things where everything ends up lining up and making sense the way they present it. So, fact or fiction, I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love those things that really question all that shit and say, no, let's go deeper. Let's just do it. Because either way, like I said, fact or fiction, it doesn't really matter. They're never going to really figure it out in your lifetime. So you might as well just enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go for it. Just go wild. They're not really ever saying in there that aliens built it. They're just saying the civilization figured out
Yeah.
that, look, all this, here's a warning, shit happens. That's why we're not here.
Damn. Mine's getting blown again.
Oh no, my brain.
Yeah, I remember reading about the Great Reset or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I forgot how many. I thought it was 15,000 years.
I think they say it's like somewhere around like 24,000 or something in this documentary, but that shit changes all the time, man. You can't trust anything.
Yeah.
You can't really believe it. And even if it does happen, thousands of years to us doesn't even make sense. You can't even fathom thousands. You can think you can, but your brain doesn't understand thousands. It understands like a couple dozen.
Yeah.
You got, you got 10 fingers, that's pretty much all your brain gets.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of those famous mathematicians that's,
Brilliant. Genius.
One of the crazy things they get into there, actually I didn't show it to you, I showed it to Cole because I was watching this documentary earlier at work, and they get to this one point where they show these hieroglyphs that show airplanes and helicopters and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. And I had to show it to Cole. I said, hey Cole, what do you think that is? And as soon as he saw it, he's like, it looks like a helicopter and stuff. I'm like, look at this, and it was like, it's just ridiculous. Why would they have hieroglyphs that accurate? It's just, you know what I mean?
Proves time travel.
Proves time travel.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things they say is the concept of the Akashic records or the muse. We might have talked about this a little bit, but the idea that everything that everyone could ever think about is already there in the universe. You just have to tap into it. apparently a lot of famous mathematicians and artists say the same thing, is you don't really come up with these things, it just comes to you, like it's given to you. Like I saw a cat go flying in the
She's
background.
going crazy right now.
She's tapped into the muse, bro. But the idea that, when you're at your best and you're really flowing with your art, that you're not necessarily the one making it, you feel like you're a vehicle.
Yeah.
It's just putting this energy out. And that's something that even Rogan and a lot of stand-up comedians say when they're really in the zone with the audience, and they're telling jokes, and everybody in the crowd is like into it and loving it, and everything's going great. That they're not the comedian on stage that's telling everybody all these jokes. They're on a ride, on a journey with the audience, but they're just the mouthpiece of it. And yeah, apparently that's a very common concept that a lot of high-level artists, writers, mathematicians, and whatnot say. Yeah, they feel the same way.
It's called being in the zone.
Yeah, in the zone. It's another way of looking at it. Are you in the zone, bro? But you know when you're really like kicking it out there, and you're just like, it's just coming right out. Every vert you move, or every look at that cat, dude, is going crazy. Every brush stroke you throw down, it's just perfect.
Yeah, there's the times where when you're creating art, it's almost like a drunk feeling. When you get to that point of drunkenness where you're watching yourself do stuff.
Yeah, you're not really doing it. It's just happening. That's the point. That's where you need to be, man.
There's a couple books on that. I'm gonna get those book names and I'll bring them in next time we do the podcast, because the way that I've heard that described is called The Flow, Flow.
The flow.
Based on this one book that I really want to read.
There's so many words for it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's so many words for it, but that just happens to be the one word that I prefer to stick with. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think every artist has been there. It usually occurs at night for some reason. I don't know why, but like right before you go to bed.
For you?
Apparently that's common for most people. Like it hits like right as you're about to go to, like as soon as you're getting tired, or
maybe dreaming is starting to kick in.
Yeah, possibly.
Like those drugs that your brain produces, because the most intense drugs in the world that you can take are produced by your brain. It's DMT, dimethyltryptamine. But yeah, man, that shit's dropping on your brain. Boop boop. I got a sweet idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I stay up really late working on stuff all the time.
Yeah, man. It always happens. The later you're up, the better that shit gets, man.
Some of my best work and most productive work in Ghostbusters came when I worked overnight.
Yeah, man. I was working on this level at work and did like an entire vertex color pass on the whole level, and was at work like all night, just like that. Like just sitting there working till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Passed out on the couch at work. Just part of the jam when you get into it, man.
Sometimes I wish that I could shift my work hours by like 7 hours, because really, honestly, in the morning I'm pretty worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a terrible person.
I'm curious if maybe like that sort of thing kicks in for gamers that are up all night playing games. Because like I've noticed that I'm better at playing games after I play for like a warm-up hour and it's really late at night, and then I don't know. I know that sounds kind of strange, but like for example, I got to like 46 in Gears of War 2 on Horde mode. I got to like level 46.
Whoa.
Which is pretty impressive. But it was like really late at night, and it was like after just a little bit of warm-up, and like the flow was kicking in, and I was just murdering some locusts and.
You hear that, ladies?
Hear that, ladies?
Hear that, ladies? Level 46.
It's gonna hit you with the bangerang on level 46.
Because 50 is the max that you can get to before you're done. But anyway,
thanks, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that in mind, we'll wrap it up all well and nice, because I know Skanker Zero is up late.
It's 2:30. I've already passed that threshold.
Your brain's dumping chemicals right now. You're ready to do your best art ever.
Yep. I'm pretty good. We can talk about balls and stuff if we want.
With a reference.
Yeah,
Dude,
just
your
saying.
reference, that's nice. That's some nice.
So hey, Movember is here.
Oh, I shaved today.
I shaved. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's going back to the girl.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's my inspiration right now. EFG Chan. For those that want to look her up, you'll get some very not safe for work images.
Whoa. But yeah, so I shaved it up for Movember, and we're already like a couple days in, and this is what I got. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to try to shave this each week, just to make the stash look strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's going to happen, folks, because it is November and it is cold. I'm not just let this beard grow in and say,
I already screwed up. I didn't even think about it, but I just naturally shaved because that's what I do
Today.
before I go on a date.
oh yeah, you should because you're going on
Yeah.
a date.
I
What?
didn't even think about it.
I don't know.
You guys are weird. I go as is, as a kind of like, this is it.
What
It's
up?
not getting any better than this.
It's not getting better, girl.
This is what you're stuck
And
with.
then she's like, "Ooh, I can clean him up.
Yeah.
I can change him." And you're like,
I can-
"Nah, girl, I'm a movie star."
What's funny?
You may have seen Grandma's Boy. Yeah, I made that guy.
That was all me.
Yeah. So, anything you like to promote for us before
Let's
you
see,
go?
I did Rapid
Battle Tank 64.
Battle Tank 64. Yeah, you guys never did. Wait, did you reply with your obscure game?
No, not yet.
Me or him?
Me, I haven't yet. I can't think of it.
You were supposed to
right
be
now.
thinking about this.
I know.
God,
I screwed up.
you blew it.
One of the obscure games that I really like, and you need a modded PS2 to play it here in the States, is called Ambulances versus Zombies. It's a Japanese game which is basically Crazy Taxi, and you have to go pick up injured people, but the zombie apocalypse is happening, so you're running over zombies and all that stuff. Another one is, I don't know how to say it, but it's essentially Attack of the 50-foot tall woman or whatever.
Okay.
And you play the Japanese military, and there's this woman that got stung by an alien on the beach, so she ends up growing to be 100 feet tall or however tall she is, and so you have to lure her to certain areas using giant cakes and sweets. And so you're like these helicopters and you're like throwing stuff, and then she goes and she starts eating the cake, and then you use your hypno gear to go and you like hypnotize her face, and then you hypnotize her boobs, and then you hypnotize her ass, and once you can get them hypnotized enough, she like passes out. And
nice.
it's just like this whole like story of you trying to like take her away from certain parts of Tokyo so she won't destroy it. Those are fun.
Strange.
One game that I kind of liked as a kid, but I didn't play it a lot, so I don't know if I'd recommend it or not. But it was that, I forgot what it was called, but there's 3 big monsters. There's a rat, a gorilla, and like a Godzilla type monster, and you just
Rampage?
Is that
Yeah.
what? Yeah, Rampage. That's right. Yeah. I
That makes
forgot
me feel
about that.
old.
Yeah, but that was kind of an interesting, I don't know, weird game.
That was a strange game.
Yeah.
It was fun though, but it didn't make any sense. Like as much as I played it in my youth,
You just keep
I never made
destroying-
any sense of it.
What kind of city was that? Where there
Well,
buildings?
it's like, what am I even doing here? Well, how do I score? How do I win? I knew how I'd die, but
yeah,
shit was weird.
It was a strange one.
So anyway, I know Brian ain't got dick to promote except for his Twitter,
I thought you were going to
at
say his dick.
Brian _ McConnell. Yeah, no, except
He
for
is single, lady.
That's what he's thinking about, ladies. I'm
Dude.
just letting you know, Brian is a
been
hot
on
young stud. He's in good shape. He's got the abs. He's got the muscles. Don't be scared of his big, huge muscles and his thick forearms and his man hands, because those can cuddle your parts.
I feel so.
You just gotta let him know what you want.
There's no girls listening.
I
to
know.
this.
And you don't.
No, there is. One of the questions we answered was from a girl, and then
Oh,
she told
okay.
me, she goes, "Hey, thanks for answering my question, but I'm not a he," or something like that.
Oh, really?
I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," because we
I
just
like
took
her
I took the
already.
questions and pasted them into a text file and didn't have the names. I just forgot. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the internet. If you're not actually saying it to my face, it's kind of hard to really know
Too
what's
bad she
going
doesn't
on.
like me.
I'm not
And,
sexist.
Well, the good thing is, women will at least have to spend only 5 minutes with Brian because he'll tell them right up.
Yeah, I'll say something really stupid.
Yeah, at 5 minutes, you'll know.
He'll
whether
be
you're
like,
actually-
he'll start talking about Pokemon and Harry Potter and
Dude, to be honest, like I've gotten to the point where I don't even mind talking about whatever because if it's just like you said, Jesse, you go in there. This is what you get.
go what you got.
I do that with talking. Like
Yeah.
I'll say whatever I want. If you got a problem with it, then I probably don't want to talk to you anyways.
This is how I talk all the time.
Yeah.
Like an idiot. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way I talk like here on the show is exactly how I talk on dates. I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
I'm just so me all the time, and apparently some people don't like that, and sometimes it gets me in trouble. But whatever, I'm doing.
and that's
Exactly.
and that's
doing
fine.
all right.
Yeah, I mean,
I got this scarf. I got this web show on the YouTube.
I mean, I can live without.
Yeah, the scarf
You may
is
have
pretty
seen me.
nice.
I'm on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
I can live without sex, so it's like not a big deal if I get rejected. You know.
Oh.
No, it's
Oh.
I'm pretty straightforward with everything. I think my problem right now is I'm extremely picky with everything. I mean, I
Hey,
should
that's
be.
that's the way
I
you
like
should
brains
be. Yeah.
more than other things.
You deserve the best, Jesse.
No, I tell people that a lot. I mean,
Hollywood.
they deserve the best. I mean, why wouldn't you? I see people basically settling left and right. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Why do you want to do that?
You see this chick and she's
Yeah.
like a 10, and this dude, she's like a normal guy like you. Oh, what? He's probably rich. I bet he's got a big hog.
That's
you're
what
trying to-
guys immediately think.
You're immediately trying to figure out what the fuck's that guy got. No, she just likes regular dudes.
But
Yeah.
it's never maybe he's just a nice guy. No, it's always like, God, what a douche. Look at him. He's probably freaking rich. Asshole.
When
I bet he's packing thick cut.
when I settle down, it'll be because of peer pressure from my mom.
It'll be a shotgun
Give me them
wedding.
grandkids. Are you the only
Dude.
one?
No,
I mean, I know you got your
I got
brother,
a brother, but I'm
Like, is there
questioning-
anybody older?
I'm questioning his ability.
You got like an older sister or anything like that?
No.
See, I have an older sister, and she's got 3 kids, so I'm free ride.
Do you have
Yeah,
Do you have any sisters?
No, I don't have any sisters. No.
What about you, Chris? Do you have a sister?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I got an older sister, and she's
Oh,
got 3 kids, so I got a free ride. And my
Chris.
dad remarried and has 2 young boys who are like 16, 15-ish, so they're like stars. They're like geniuses and football players or whatever, so they're just going to be like knocking up all kinds of girls. They have plenty of grandkids.
Knocking up. See, there's not enough youth in my life.
Use condoms.
Yes.
Dude, I'm 32, Mexican, Hispanic, Latino, or whatever you want to call it.
Are you
and
related to
I have
Sammy
no kids.
Sosa?
This is the second podcast in a row.
I'm sorry.
Bangerang, Chris.
Bangarang. Hashtag Bangarang. This shit's
Let's
going
see.
in the fucking tweet. Hey, I'm 32 and I don't have any kids, man. It's just, dude, I love kids. I think they're awesome. And apparently, kids. It's actually almost weird. Like, kids love me. 'Cause I think they like know, like they sense that I'm a retarded person. It'll do. I'm like, I'm jumping into this pile. I'll cut a flip in the leaves. Let's wrestle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they can sense it on me.
It's
Like,
a-
I love kids.
it's like a
so
hormone there.
yeah, like they'll just jump on me. Like they'll see me, and be like, "There's that guy. Just jump on him. He's good to go." But I'm cool with that. I love kid stuff. I love toys. Love games. That's what I do. But I love kids. But it's just it's not worked out for me.
Yeah.
I could totally have kids at some point, but it's just where my life's not at. You know what I mean?
Well, for me in Latino years, I'm almost old
Latino.
enough to be. Yeah, I'm almost
You're a
old enough to be a
great-grandpa.
grandfather.
Oh, yeah.
Because like if I would have had a kid in high school, that would put me at grandfathering age right now.
Definitely.
Bro.
bro.
So for me to be 32 and have a cat and be single is pretty rare. A Latino
At the
thing.
family reunion, they're like, "What's up with Jesse? He's kind of weird.
Kind of weird. I don't know.
I don't know about him. Well, he's
Maybe-
got this career." Is that racist to me to do that?
He has his
because I
cat.
think I'm pretty good at it.
Maybe
I don't know what's racist anymore.
There's nothing. Look, here's what's racist: killing someone because of their skin.
I just get offended.
Here's what's racist: denying a loan for someone for their skin, denying a job for someone for their skin, making a joke talking about it and being having a pal, but hey, look at that dude is black. Saying something is not racist. Like,
well, I made my
racism is like genocide. The reason people think bullshit like a joke is racist in America is because they don't know what real racism is. I grew up in the South where I saw racism. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I grew up in when I was in junior high school. All my friends were black because in the South, look, our high school was 50-50. This is South Carolina. It was like my mom worked at a nursing home, and her best friend was black, and so I hung out with their kids. They were like African American. They were like, yeah, it didn't even matter. I didn't even say those terms. None of those terms even mattered. Like my friends were they were black guys, and that's because we all hung out. Mm-hmm. Everybody was down there. They're all the same people down there. It's like it's so integrated where I was, but still racism existed. And when I was in junior high, I was actually one of my teachers and the assistant principal took me out of class one day and like separated me from the black kids. They made me sit like basically the black kids sit on this side of the room, and I was over there with them.
What?
And they separated me, and that's what happened to me in junior high school. Like they said, you can't be friends with them, basically.
Dang.
And that was kind of the end of that. Like that was junior high. In high school, once we were in high school, it was like totally segregated. Like nobody was friends. Like it was split up. But every now and again, like those guys, like those particular guys that were my friends, they'd come by and they'd give me like the hey, what's up? Like because they still remember me and we're still pals. Like I still, But that's just something that happened to me, and it stuck with me today. I'm kind of emotional about it. It kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but
that does suck.
that was the racism that I dealt with as a youngster. It was people being racist against somebody that I was friends with, so I couldn't be friends with them.
Yeah.
And the same thing could happen anywhere in the world. You're like in one area where there's a different... Who knows? I don't know. You're in India somewhere, you don't want to hang out with some guy in Pakistan. I don't know. Look at that cat.
I like that you said that, because like in high school I came up with this quote. I don't know if it's any good or not. I like it, but I made it up. And it's
But I wrote it, so it's copyright at Brian McConnell on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll tweet.
You hear
I'll
that,
tweet
ladies?
this.
He's a
I'll tweet
scholar.
He's a scholar, ladies.
Yeah.
Listen to this guy.
But it's
Abercrombie and Fitch.
It's if it's racist, or if it's a joke, it's not racist, and if it's racist, it's not a joke.
If you're dragging somebody behind a truck, it's racist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like on the street, no big deal.
Yeah.
Dude, some dudes
Man.
were yelling some stuff. Remember where I told you that I came back to work the other last Friday, and there were these guys crossing the street just screaming.
Oh yeah. You
They were
did mention
screaming the
the bad
N word,
the bad word,
and they weren't black. And I was like, guys, there's guys around here that I don't think they would be so cool. No, I didn't say anything. I just kept walking. I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Somebody's screaming racial slurs. I'm going that way.
I get really offended when someone calls me boy.
Boy.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's an inside
That's
joke.
kind of a joke between me and Brian. We were going to pick up a sandwich at a TiVo or a pizza or something like that at this place, and there was a guy. He was like an old homeless guy or something. He was, he didn't mean it bad, but the way he said it sounded like. At first, it was like, "Oh shit, are we gonna have to fight? Are we getting mugged?" Like we didn't know what was going on because this dude just like right behind us just yells, "Hey boy!"
Oh dear.
And then we're like, "Uh-oh, what's going on?" He goes, "Where's 7-Eleven?" But it was like right there. It was
You
less.
could, like,
it was,
see the
yeah,
sign.
it was less. We were on the same block as 7-Eleven. You could see the sign, and it was pretty stupid. It was, and we were like, it's right there. And he was like,
maybe
oh.
he was gonna mug us.
Yeah.
And then,
But then he saw those fucking forearms on you,
or yeah,
and he was like, nope.
he's like, I gotta change
Chuck
subject.
Testa. All right, we're right at that
we're
150
done.
moment. We should
We're
wrap it
done.
on up. So yeah, go to the crunchstudios.com. We got an XML now. You can check that crap out on your phones probably. We got a YouTube channel. We got this Twitters. We got these internets. You got all those websites. You love everything. What you should really do is whatever websites you go to, if it has a forum, if it has news, if it has a comment section, post links to this show, because you're the ones that get us out there. It's we don't have any advertising. We don't have any money. We're not Microsoft. We ain't got nothing.
Yep.
The only time that anything happens is when anybody says anything. Most of the hits we get on the show from Facebook when I post it on there.
Family.
Or Hesse over there posts, or Brian posts. Yeah, get it out there, bros. It's up to you. It's up to us. We are one. We are the 99%.
And we're out.
I would like people to actually send in ideas that they may have, for us to discuss outside of questions. It doesn't have to be a question. Maybe just like, hey, it'd be cool if you guys talked about this, or
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, a lot of people commented on the whole the spiel that we were going on last week about the whole ancient civilizations and stuff. They actually really found that interesting. Were you ever going to upload the
Dude, I've
hour?
got it. I kind of started editing it, but I haven't put it up yet, and I need to. But yeah, you're exactly right. A lot of people like that. Whoops, the outro is looping again. A lot of people really like that crazy talk stuff, and I'm down for that because like I said, fantasy or fact. Fantasy or fiction, yeah. Fantasy or fiction.
Yeah.
Fantasy or not. Fiction or non-fiction.
Yeah.
Truth or fact.
If you believe it or not, it's just expanding
Even
your
if it's
imagination.
false or if it's false. I don't care. I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
Look, you talk about a good movie, you talk about a good show. It's all the same shit, man.
Are you still recording or no?
Yeah, it's still recording.
Okay.
All right.
But no, I'm gonna end it now.
Yeah, we're good. Bye, guys. Stop.
See you later.